It's your boy JT and welcome back to another episode of South Stand Signings, and there is so much to talk about today. Wow, it couldn't be a bigger contrast to yesterday if you tried. The first story surrounding Leeds United is that we have agreed a deal to sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin. This morning, journalist David Ornstein revealed that Leeds United have reached an agreement in principle to sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin on a free transfer. He adds that the former England player is due to arrive at Thorpe Arch imminently to undergo a medical before completing a move to Elland Road. Interestingly, journalist Ben Jacobs soon weighed in on the matter when he revealed that Calvert-Lewin actually turned down a move to the Premier League rivals Sunderland before agreeing terms for a move over to Leeds United. So finally, there is someone who is actually choosing us over other sides. Now, this is very interesting for me. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is one which we have all said throughout the entire transfer window. Well, 90% of us don't want him. Go for other options. Not the main man for Leeds United going forward. For me, very surprising that we've gone in and pulled the trigger on Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, the only efficacy I can see in this is that it basically means Harry Gray is no longer that fourth choice striking option, and we are going to sign another striker on top of this, which kind of quashes that whole Farke's going to bring 4 signings in, 1 striker, 1 winger, 1 number 10, 1 fullback. Clearly not, because this cannot be our answer up front. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, fine, he might do a good job for Leeds United. He might be a good backup player behind Joel Pirro. Fair enough. But that is not enough to keep you in the Premier League. We all know we need more striking options than that. And thankfully, it does seem like Leeds are going to be pursuing more striking options. Let me know what you guys think, though. How do you feel about Dominic Calvert-Lewin? The deal is in principle. I don't think it will be too long before he ends up becoming a Leeds United player. Wow, that one came out of nowhere. So please, let me know what you guys think down below. He will undergo a medical very soon, and his lack of an agent means that Calvert-Lewin will be leading negotiations himself. His wages, however, I do want to say, will be a very interesting factor, though, because he was on about 100 grand a week last I checked on his last contract. Now, our highest paid player is Patrick Bamford on £70,000 a week. So I don't know how much we're actually going to offer Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I don't think he'll be much more than 50k, surely. Because if you're going to pay more than Bamford, I actually think Bamford's a better striker than Dominic Calvert-Lewin personally. But that's just one humble man's opinion. Now, good news for Leeds United. We are still looking at other strikers. And apparently, there has been a little bit of progression in our pursuit of this man, Mr. Alexander Mitrovic. I read a report that Leeds were identifying only players who are above 6 foot. Everyone was going to be a giant. This is coming out of a journalist talking about Leeds United's links with, obviously, the huge target man himself, Mr. Alexander Mitrovic. Now, he has 3 years left on his contract and earns around £25 million a year. But there was a report the other day that basically, there was a report this morning that stated that Al Hilal would potentially be open to the idea of paying him out of his contract. Apparently, they could be scheduled to pay him his entire wage packet for the next 3 years. Obviously, there is big speculation about Leeds being able to reach his wage demands, which will be very high. Obviously, Darwin Núñez has signed for Al Hilal. They need to release Mitrovic, and apparently they aren't too fussed about losing a lot of money on his transfer fee, although they might demand a small fee despite the fact he is a free agent, because they would be willing to pay him out of his contract. Now, does that mean Mitrovic would then be happy to be like, you know what, I just got £21 million paid out of my contract. I don't mind taking 50 grand to 100 grand a week at Leeds. Yes, it's less than what I was on, but I'm still getting paid that 400 grand a week from Al Hilal. Maybe that's something he'll be open to, and maybe that could open the possibility of Mitrovic signing for Leeds United, which would be very exciting news for Leeds United. Now, obviously, the other concern is other clubs sniffing around for Alexander Mitrovic. He's a top striker. A lot of Premier League clubs would be interested, but supposedly, according to this same report, Leeds United are the current front runners. So let me know what you guys think down below on that one. Now, speaking of striking stories, another surprising one has emerged, and that is that Leeds United are apparently not out of the race for Rodrigo Muniz as previously thought yesterday. It was previously thought and still thought and regarded that he does prefer a move to Atalanta and wants to sign for them. Potentially why Leeds are making other strides in the transfer market when it comes to strikers. Now, Tangredi Palmieri tweeted this out today. Honestly, I don't know why Muniz except from highlights, which for how I understand football means I don't really know him. But the relationships must be exceptional if for a 24-year-old whose contract is expiring and has only scored 12 goals in the last 2 years, both Leeds and Atalanta have offered a whopping 40 million. Supposedly, Leeds United have launched a £35 million bid for Rodrigo Muniz, which is obviously wide of the target of the fee that they want. They obviously want that €50 million valuation for Rodrigo Muniz, which Leeds United aren't hitting. Apparently, Leeds United have lodged that bid and are still in the pursuit for Rodrigo Muniz, which is exciting, and we will have to wait and see how that all unfolds. Will Leeds United actually get him and Dominic Calvert-Lewin? If we could, that would be very, very big. But whether it's him or Mitrovic, if we could get one of those two, I don't think I'll be complaining at all about the 49ers and their summer transfer business, especially if they top El Khannouss onto the top of that, because El Khannouss is set for a move as Leicester City are set to greenlight the sale of Leeds United target Bilal Khannouss. The transfer saga has been all over the gaff, with Newcastle reported to be very interested in stealing him away from Leeds, but as things stand, Leeds are still the current front runners and have emerged and have the edge in the race. According to Sky Sports, Leicester are now keen on a move to deal, are keen to move on a deal to sell El Khannouss in the ongoing transfer window. His release clause is £30 million and is set to expire at the end of the week. So Leeds only have 48 hours to trigger that release clause. And we are still the front runners. They want to get the deal done shortly. So if we could get this done in the next day or two, wow, Leeds could be cooking. Just finally, Leeds United have been tracking Artem Dovbyk, of course, but apparently that situation is going a little bit cold. Matteo Moretto, a journalist, has given his opinion on the matter. Roma have not received any proposals for Dovbyk as of now. I'm also told that the Leeds track is very cold at this moment as of August 12, 3:44 when I'm recording this video. Leeds in Dovbyk is a very cold situation, and I've been told that right now Artem Dovbyk is very focused on Roma. He wants to do well with Gasperini, wants to convince everyone by continuing to score goals. That's exactly what Dovbyk has done and achieved over the past season. So Dovbyk's focus is entirely on Roma. We'll see if in the next few weeks anything changes or if an important offer arrives. At that point, it will be up to Roma to decide which path to take with Dovbyk, but as of now, there is no indication that Leeds is seriously pursuing Dovbyk. We'll see how discussions develop from here. So, not the most positive sign, but as I said, Leeds United are tracking other striking options, so it isn't the worst hit. And that story I was talking about, here is the report from Globo, reporting that he would be paid out the rest of his contract and allowing him to make the move over to Leeds United if it was an option. Let me know what you guys think about all of these deals though down in the comment section down below. A striker signed and 2 more potentially waiting in the wings. Let me know down below. Very positive day for Leeds United. For now though, I will see you very, very soon. Au revoir, my brother.